Hi, my name's Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. This is the Bicaster MRC-4 pin system for recurve. So 832 thread. Comes in a little box like that. Comes in three colours. Comes in red, blue and black. Now it comes in two pin colours, green and red, and the fibre optics are wrapped around the housing. So if I look here, there's three fibre optics running around the housing and a little up pin, a pin at the back. Right, so when it comes to target pins for recurve, what you're looking for is something you can see and gives you a nice vision of the target. It's a thing for compound shooters, what size scope to shoot, what power. It's the same thing for a recurve. Finding a little aperture that you like to aim with. I had huge problems last year seeing, and I've literally tried most of the ones that I have here. So we're just going to talk about this, see what it's like, where it's priced on the market, and just discuss sight pins. So one of the problems I have is seeing the little dot, the fibre optic, right? So I need enough fibre optic gathering light to enable me to see the dot. So we're going to talk about that. These little things on the end are like a little shock absorber, little bits of rubber. One of my staff pulled off one of them, so little bits of rubber stuck in that just detaches. There's a little screw just there and detaches. This is something similar to Fivix, little sight saver thing, which goes onto the back of the sight pin. Look, it doesn't do much. This is the main thing. This is priced at around $38. How does that compare with other sight pins on the market? This is something similar from Toe Point. Right, so we'll just discuss the differences. The little up pin's a bit thicker here than here. 2 bits of fibre optic versus 3. Besides that, pretty similar. Bit of fibre optic running through the front there and not there. So this should be a little bit brighter than the Toe Point. Toe Point, just ballpark numbers, about $20, $38. Now, one of the favourite sight pins I use is the Decut sight pin. Now, the Decut sight pin comes in a few different options. This is the one I'm currently using. This is what it looks like. It's a piece of glass. The glass is drilled and a bit of fibre optic running through it. I really like this sight picture. So when I aim, I see that. I find it clear. Now the problem was when I'm shooting field, well, I've got a couple of problems with this. When I'm shooting field, the sun hits the glass and I can't see anything. When I shoot field, the targets are generally covered in shade, so there's trees covering the target. I'm in sunlight, the target's in the dark. The sun hits this and I can't see what I'm aiming at. Okay, so that's a problem for me with this system. The other problem I have with a piece of glass is it gets dirty, right? So when it gets dirty, then I'm not seeing the target. But what I like is this housing's round the target. So for me shooting at 18 meters, this I think covers around the blue from memory. So I'm happy with the size. The size on both of these is about the same. Now, I've tried most of the sight pins on the market. I've tried your Shibuyas. I've tried your expensive, these ones. These are the true balls, and I kind of like this. This comes in 2 pin sizes, 0.19 and 0.29. Comes in 2 colors, but you're talking around the $200 mark. I used one of these last nationals for indoor because I was having trouble seeing. Could just be my eyes. The problem is when you shoot outside, you have massive amounts of light. So then when you go to different conditions like shooting field or going indoors, sometimes you'll struggle, right? So, but these are around $200. So when I'm looking at stuff, I'm going, this has 2 bits of fibre optic running around the outside. This is an Excel, nothing in the middle. Look, there's a few others, but I just wanted to show you this one because I thought it was interesting. It's new, just came in. Look, green or red. You've got to try stuff and see what works for you and your eyes. Look, Biccaster also has sight pins that are very popular with recurve target archers. Look, if a standard pin will work fine, people get all worried about different stuff. basic stuff's fine. Absolutely fine. It's not going to affect your scores. Why do you use this? To try and make your life easier to aim? Because when, like, you can see when this goes over something, like over my eye, it's easy to sort of see and try and put this over the middle of my eye, right? So especially as you're getting older and your eyes are deteriorating, these things become really important. But look, to me it looks good. I haven't tried it yet, but I will. So anyway, that's the Biccaster sight pin. Biccaster, the packaging is really good. Very happy with it. Displays really well. Their products sell really well for me, and I'm not saying that because I'm pushing them. I think they're priced well. I think they're displayed well. And I'm going to say it's not coming off as cheap Chinese. It's coming across as a premier product. So there's expensive Chinese and there's cheap Chinese, and there's a place in the market for both. And this is coming through, Bicaster's coming through as a premier Chinese product. So obviously under the $200 American price mark, but significantly cheaper than the top of the line American stuff, but yet comparable. So this is selling, when I say this, Bicaster stuff in general sells really, really well for me. And I'm only just sort of new into it. So anyway, that's that. So sight pin. I'm Stephen Hand. Thanks for watching. Bye.